Hey Vikes, we're your friendly neighborhood guest VTV host.
Yeah, this is what happens when you visit Mr. Lathrop to say hello during your study.
Don't mind her, she gets hangry before lunch.
Shut up and tell me what's in the show.
Easy killer. In this week's episode of VTV, we'll learn about those students dressed in black operating secretly behind the scenes in the auditorium. And we'll also get a first-hand look at some new video game releases.
We also learned how to dye our hair from a pro, and despite the forecasted blizzard for this weekend, experts say the climate here in New England is actually warming faster than anywhere else on Earth.
That explains why it's so hot in here.
But up first, the Omicron variant is wreaking havoc in our world right now. Emma Campbell spoke to the nurse about the impact it's having on the students and staff here at Triton.
Sit back, relax, and enjoy.
As COVID is on the rise, Triton student and teacher absences are steadily increasing.
Obviously, Omicron has had a different angle on that, and even with the distancing and measures in place, all of a sudden we have days where it's 20-25% absentee rates. So it continues to be a very challenging year.
We're with Maggie Riley, who just spent the last week quarantining because she had COVID-19. Maggie, what were your symptoms like?
My head hurt a lot. I had a runny nose, a little cough, and I was really tired.
NBC News has confirmed there have now been more than 66 million COVID cases in the U.S.
As COVID cases around the world are increasing, what does that mean for us around Triton?
Here with Miss Marcia Tier, our Triton High School nurse. How many COVID cases roughly a week do you think we get?
Well, yesterday was the highest number of single day of COVID cases in the whole pandemic. Yesterday we had 13 positive cases, upwards of 60 cases a week. So we're seeing a lot of cases in kids that had been immunized, and now that they're due for their booster, their immunity is dropping. I think the other factor is that it's getting old. People don't want to stay home in quarantine anymore. They want to go out and be with their friends. So we're having more parties and sleepovers and get-togethers in cars. So these same crowds of people are spreading it to other friends who are in the same boat.
At the height of the absences, were you ever in danger of not having enough staff?
Yes. Pretty much I've been doing COVID all day long and into the evening, 7 days a week. So there's a whole lot of COVID going on.
Is there anything else you would like to add?
Just to get your booster shot, get vaccinated, wear your mask, wash your hands, hang in there. Hopefully we'll be coming to the end of this soon.
According to news reports, Omicron is expected to peak by the end of next week, which means that the end is in sight. From VTV, I'm Emma. You have a mic. Okay, interviewing Maggie on her thoughts of COVID.
Oh wait, say that again.
Did you have COVID?
Yeah, I did.
What was your experience?
I still have it. Just kidding.
Oh my god, I hate this phone. Gia, do you know how to turn AirDrop on your phone so I can send you this photo?
What's wrong with you? My 5-year-old nephew knows how to send a picture with AirDrop.
Don't mock me, I'm awful with technology.
Triton has its own highly qualified techies that operate all of the lights and sound in the auditorium. If they didn't exist, we would literally be sitting in the dark, unable to hear what happens on stage.
I should probably take that class.
Not sure it would help. Here's Ashley with a behind-the-scenes look behind the scenes with our Triton techies.
Triton puts on many performances in the auditorium, such as plays, concerts, and different shows. But the lights and sound don't just run themselves. So you may be asking, how does this all come together? Who does this? The answer? The Triton Techies. The Triton Techies use the sound booth to control everything that happens in the auditorium during plays or shows.
We do a lot of things. We handle sound technology and like the lights in the auditorium whenever there's like some sort of presentation. We like set up the microphones, get them running. If something needs to be done with the lights, we do that. Or for like the school plays, we do the lights and sound for that as well. The students must be certified in order to use this equipment.
There's nothing super intense, but you have to sort of be trained in the different equipment. We did a test where we hooked up like speakers to an amplifier and like the primary equipment.
I didn't actually create the tech program. I inherited it from, we inherited it from the guy who did create it, Bob Manso, back in the, late 80s. We were starting to have more and more events happening and people needing microphones and lights and that sort of things. All of those things became wrapped up in this class called Sound Recording Technology. Where we teach people how to run events and how to use all the various systems in the school, but also we spend a good portion of time trying to do some recording, actual recording in the studio. I mean, in terms of, it also helps the program because there's no way to actually, for me to staff every single event. So having people that know how to do things, it helps in so many ways to have a program like this. As part of our overall sort of programming. It's great.
Thanks to the Triton Techies for working so hard behind the scenes to make Triton's actors and musicians sound the best that they can. From VTV, I'm Ashley.
For all you gamers out there, the start of a new year brings some exciting new video game releases.
I'm a Minecraft master. What's your favorite game?
Probably GTA.
Logan Smith is a video game expert, and in this next segment, he reveals the newest releases of 2022.
Video games. I love them. You might love them. Either way, they're awesome. But this year has had some pretty dull releases. Off the top of my head, the only two good releases I can think of are Monster Hunter Rise and Guilty Gear Strive. Halo Infinite would have been included in that sentence if it was good. Today, I'll be sharing 3 releases that will be coming out at the start of the new year. Maybe you'll buy them, maybe you won't, that's entirely up to you. King of Fighters 16. King of Fighters, KOF, has been a favorite fighting game ever since its release decades ago. And this game looks better than any of the other games, probably because it's the newest one on the newest hardware. This time it's going to have crossover characters from very esteemed fighting games such as the Guilty Gear franchise, which I mentioned previously. It'll be releasing February 17th, so if you want to try and get into fighting games, you might want to try this one. Next, we have the spin-off game, Pokemon Legends Arceus. Arceus, the pronunciation, has been heavily debated for a while, but I'll be pronouncing it the way I want to. Anyway, Pokemon Legends Arceus will be releasing on the Nintendo Switch on January 28th, and exclusively on the Nintendo Switch. Its release will most likely be met with very high praise. The game has been influenced by Breath of the Wild heavily, which is a game that has spurred the development of many other similar games. Anyone who's a fan of the Pokemon series might be interested in this game. Finally, the game with the most hype surrounding it, Elden Ring. Elden Ring will be releasing February 25th, 2022. The Elden Ring network test has already found hundreds of people playing and enjoying the game. However, one problem is that Elden Ring is very similar to the Dark Souls franchise, which is targeted towards a very select, small group of people. Only play this game for the challenge and have some experience playing video games already. Now, let's see what some of the people I've interviewed have to say about these upcoming releases. What do you think of the new Pokemon game coming out?
It sure is.
Really? What do you think of the new Pokemon game's coming out next year, Noah?
The only one that I really know about is Pokemon Legends Arceus.
That's the one.
That's it? That's all there is?
That's the one.
Alright, well yeah, it seems pretty interesting. It seems very similar to Legends of Zelda Breath of the Wild. Big map, I'd assume some new Pokemon. That should be exciting.
Caleb, have you ever heard of Elden Ring? Is that a yes? How about you? Have you ever heard of Elden Ring? What about King of Fighters 16? You ever heard of Pokemon Legends Arceus, Caleb? Thank you. And there you have it, folks. See ya.
Hey G, have you ever colored your hair?
Nope, this is my natural color.
Sure it is. Well, if you aren't happy with your natural hair color and you want to change it up a bit, here's Sully with a lesson to take you from ordinary to fabulous.
If you've seen me walking around the halls of Triton, you'd know that I change my hair color pretty often. I've had my hair like this for just about 3 weeks. I think it's time for a change. As you can see right now, my hair is pretty light, so I'm not going to bleach all of it. Probably just the sides, and I'm going to try and get the roots too. When mixing the bleach and developer, I try to make sure it's not too liquidy and not too thick. You want it to be able to spread evenly, but also you don't want it running down your face and getting in your eyes. So I'm just mixing up the bleach powder to make sure there's no chunks. Then I'm adding in the developer. You want to make sure you just add a little bit at a time and try and get even parts. You can see later on I end up adding more developer in. So I put in the bleach, and now for the final part of before plastic bag on head. The point of wearing a bag is to help develop the bleach and make it work faster with preserving the heat. So I'm gonna let it sit for 15 minutes and then check back in. I'm about to, let's see. So it's kind of yellowy, like straw yellow in the back. I don't actually know if you can see it or not, but I mean it's fine. I'm going a darker color, so it should be covered at least. So like I said earlier, I was just doing the sides to lighten them up, but it's fine because I'm going to do a darker color. So that's the next step. I don't remember what this color looks like, but I did like how it looked on the display, so I guess we'll see how it comes out. The color is called Jade, so I'm guessing it will be a darker green. As you can see, I almost added developer, but then I realized I didn't read the instructions, so I'm not sure if the dye needs it or not. But in the instructions you can see, do not mix with peroxide. So it doesn't need developer. Make sure you always read the instructions, unlike me. So dye is in. My hands as an aftermath of not using gloves. Who uses gloves? So this is gonna sit for like 20 to 40 minutes. So as you can see, the dye has been sitting. I got distracted. It's probably been like 40 or 50-ish minutes. I'm not really sure. But I'm gonna go rinse this out and then I guess we'll see how it comes out. This is the finished product. I thought it was gonna be more green, but I mean, I'm not upset with how it turned out. I do like the blue. I mean, but the name was a bit misleading with it being called Jade. So that was my hair dyeing journey. I hope you enjoyed it. Yeah, for VTV, I'm Sully.
So did you hear? We're supposed to get almost 2 feet of snow this weekend.
You know I love the snow, but I would love it more if it happened on a Monday.
Serious? Well, if you love winter sports like skiing and snowboarding, you could be up a snowmelt creek. According to an article in the Boston Globe, New England is warming faster than anywhere else on the planet.
Yikes. It sounds like I should get my sunscreen out.
It's cold outside, which is why I'm in here and I'm not outside. But here's the thing, it used to be a lot colder. Global warming's happening, our entire planet is getting a lot warmer, but surprisingly, us right here are getting warmer at a faster rate than anywhere else. Faster than Mother Russia, faster than Australia, faster than Algeria. White Christmases are no longer a promise, and we're having other issues. I talked to Mr. Horsley, environmental science teacher here at Triton, to figure out why this is happening in New England so much more than other places on Earth.
The global average increase in temperatures is like 2 degrees Celsius, if I'm not mistaken. And New England is like at 3.9 degrees. So yes, we are warming faster than the rest of the world. There is no definitive answer as to why as of yet. So some of the different ideas are this. New England's concentrated proximity to the Atlantic Ocean could be playing a role in that the ocean waters in New England are also warming at a disproportionate rate. And so what happens is water has the ability to absorb a whole lot of energy, thermal energy. And so all summer long it's cooking, and throughout the winter months it will release that heat slowly but surely. And so all this heat getting released from the oceans reduces the amount of snow that accumulates, which also reduces the albedo effect of our area. So the albedo effect is how much solar energy does the surface of land reflect back up into space. And that comes with lighter colors. So snow, being white, and ice as well, reflects 90% of the solar radiation that hits it back up into space. What's left behind is grass and pavement and all these dark colored surfaces that have a very low albedo, meaning they absorb more solar radiation than they reflect. So we're, instead of reflecting 90%, we're absorbing 90% now, which causes a disproportionate heating within our local areas, particularly through the winter months.
I talked to the Triton Environmental Club officers, Sage Woodward, Ella Thompson, and Sydney Golbitz, to learn more about ways that we can prevent climate change in the future.
Many people recently.
From my experience and through the stuff I've learned in environmental science, like the number one thing you can do is just eat less meat. Like doing meatless Mondays, or just like cutting back on like just red meat is like huge.
Probably using public transportation more, having like shorter showers, just reducing your overall water usage, and then definitely eat locally. This is like really helpful, so yeah.
To encourage our lawmakers to make laws that are about being more sustainable. So like reducing emissions, reducing the use of fossil fuels, and like encouraging the use of more renewable energy sources like solar and nuclear and stuff like that.
So, if we don't give up on this planet, our planet will not give up on us. There's something that each of us can do, and if we all do it together, we are definitely going to make our community a better place, and eventually, New England. I'm not giving up. You shouldn't give up, because I do not want White Christmas to be a far-off dream for my kids. For VTV, I'm Sophia.
I think we did pretty good at this anchoring thing. What do you think?
Absolutely. I look great on TV.
Fabulous! Thanks for watching, everyone!
See you next week. Or not. I'm nervous. I don't even know what I look like. I look rather wretched. Hey, Vikes, we're your friendly neighborhood guest VTV host.
Yeah, you're doing good. Just keep being serious.
So much pressure.
No, we're doing good. You're doing good. I'm doing great. Here's Ashley with a behind-the-scenes look behind with the. Oh, I love this chair. It's so rolly.
No, for real.
I just want to rolly now, with the jabbering. We're gonna take this ratchet thing off me.
I'm pretty sure my hair looks ratchet too, but
it's okay.
I'm not an actress, you guys. Hollywood never calling my name. You put it on for me? Wow, this is so romantic.
I think we did a pretty good job at this anchoring thing. Absolutely. High five.